And we are live. Good morning. Just emptying out this plastic bin. I actually worked on a model last night outside on the patio. The deck, actually. Yeah, it was nice. Weather was just beautiful. Just being able to sit outside. It's nice. Okay. Let's see where we are. So I did yesterday. Hey, Peter, good morning. I got all the scribing on the upper back, and then I got riveting done here as well. I'm now going to finish this side, at which point the upper half of this model is now done. Yep. Upper half of this model is done. Okay. How are you, Peter? How was your Friday? No. Headache today. It's going to suck because I got to move my daughter today, too. That's why. It's twisted inside of here. Perhaps will be done as in externally only, also with successful. So I tried going in there yesterday and blowing in some, just because there's enough holes in this thing. Opening in the bottom, opening here, and the leg. I just literally just kind of blew into this thing to see if I can get anything to move. Things moved, and it looks like they shifted up closer onto it's smaller stuff, but there's more of it onto the window. So yeah, I am going to have to open this up. I have not done the craniotomy yet, but that will be coming soon. I want to get most of the construction done on this thing first before I do that, because I don't want to revisit that later. And then once I open those two holes up, I've got photo etch that I've been looking at anyway that I'm just going to drop in. So, okay, at the moment though, we are now looking at, let's get some of this done. It'll work out so well. Interesting. I would redo that. I'm not 100% happy with this work right here. It drifted a little bit, but in an interesting way. It's not going to be too cool, so I'm going to leave it be. My Friday sucked. Back acted up. That sucks. How are you feeling now? Hopefully better. Okay. Keep that. Not sure I made it better, but it's done. All right, let's get some tape down so we can do some. Well, first, I guess we have to measure it. Motherfucker, wow. Ouch. Yeah, I'm not feeling 100% today. There we go. Got the live chat going. Hopefully, yeah, of course. Why nothing came through, I have no idea. Sorry about that. Hey, Tony, how are you? Everything bottled up after the third comment. I love it. Much better today. Nice. Looks like your back is also reminding you that it exists. Likely. Yeah. It's like upper, real high upper back. I mean, it's just my neck, basically. It's really not great. It's causing some pain. That's all right. By the end of today, I'll be in a lot more pain. So, yay. It's fine. It will be fine. Anyway, Tony, how are you, man? How's your dad? How's the family? Okay. Okay, just tired today, but I get kind of a free day. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. What are you going to do? I have a video to edit and post. Another started and post and another started. Nice. Dad is doing okay. Just sore from all the shots. Running all week. Mom drove me nuts yesterday, but it's okay. I am happy. I still have mom and dad. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Lucky you still have mom and dad. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get this thing lined up a little bit. Itchy. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Found out yesterday I'm going through a client list. Just looking into, I don't know what sparked it, but I did a Google search on one of my clients, and couple I've been servicing for many years, and I just found out that he had passed away. I mean, I knew he had been sick for a while, but never heard anything back further than that. And I know the way his wife was when we were talking. We just did an upgrade at their house. When we were talking, I knew that he'd been in the hospital for a while, kind of in and out. Things weren't looking all that great. He's in his early 80s, all that. And I found out, I just did a search last night, and it's like, oh my God, John passed away. Shit. And a lot of the clients that I have, one of the things I really appreciated about this family, he was the president of the Massachusetts ACLU and did a lot of phenomenal work in social justice law, and did a phenomenal amount of stuff with at both the local and the national level. And in fact, his wife not only is a Harvard lawyer, but also served as a Massachusetts Supreme Court justice. I mean, and just salt of the earth people, just really just solid people. So I hate finding out. Yeah. So today I've got to go out and he passed away June 18th. So I got to go get a card now and send it to her, and just, I feel bad. I was going to email, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'll send a card. Good clients. Good clients. There we go. Okay. Whew. And so I'm really appreciative that I put my life on hold to take care of Dad when he got cancer. It allowed us to reconnect and become true friends, not remain trapped in dad and son roles. That's awesome, man. Yeah. My dad, as he started slowing down a lot at the end, and I'd go up there, spend some time. He would come down here, particularly at that point, since we had my older daughter was 5 when he passed, 6 and 7, and my younger daughter was literally a baby. So they would come down here a lot to hang out. My dad's love language was exactly that, was helping out, right? So Peter, just get some anecdotes, right? Because we had a I think towards the end, my dad and I started getting a lot along a lot more. I really wish I had more time with him. It's the only thing. I wish we could add more of that kind of time. So we had uh, got a pipe that runs outside for an outdoor tap, um, water tap, and the head had burst. So he's like, "I'll come down and help you." And I was like, "All right." And he comes down. He's feeling a little exhausted, and I'm like, "Dad, we don't have to do this now. It's no big deal. Why don't we go hang out?" He goes, "No, no, I want to do this." So he and I basically spent like I don't know a couple hours, mostly him. He's unsoldering a head, soldering on another one. We're sitting there making sure we test it and everything like that. Thing worked perfectly, right? It was nice because then we were just kind of sitting out there and we were doing that thing that my dad liked. My dad liked fixing stuff. Um, so that was fun. Um, the the thing about it though is like 6 months later, after we have winter, he passed away in January. We probably did this work sometime, I don't know, September-ish. So in the spring, I go out there, connect the hose, and the work that he did was fine, but the pipe itself burst. And it was spraying water everywhere because it was running underneath our deck. It just kind of geysering up above our deck. And I'm laughing my ass off. And I'm thinking, this is the last thing my dad and I worked on. And this is what happened. That was our father's generation brought to the table. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's an interesting thing. I've and I know that I'm not trying to make it's not a sexist thing. I think it's more of a gender difference thing. Guys, and my wife and I have argued about this for a long time. And I think it's because there is I'm not sure if it's a difference, if it's a genetic difference, or if there's just we've societally built it this way. I've always felt that guys like to fix things, right? They just want to put their, if there's a problem, fix it. Whether that's a personal, social, mechanical, it doesn't matter. Guys just like to fix things. And that is, I think, sometimes how they do their love thing, right? I get tired sometimes, but I'm happy that I'm able to take care of dad and mom. Yeah. Yeah. Good for you, Tony. Because to the point, at some point, you know what? Treasure the time as much as you possibly can, even when they get totally fucking annoying. It's like our kids, right? Those of us who are kids. My children like piss me off. The older they're getting, the more, I'm not sure if it's they're more different or if it's that they're really doing stupid shit. And sometimes I'm sure it's both. And if they're more different, then that's on me. If they're doing stupid shit, that's on them, right? The male gene is to protect and support. I don't buy into the gene thing, Joe. I mean, I know that we talk about that a lot, and I certainly alluded to it. I don't know if it's I think when we do that, we start getting into then why we have to continue to do that, and I don't agree with that. I'm not saying that may not be the case, that there isn't some level of protectionism that comes, or a unique type of protectionism that comes with men. I think maybe that's the better way of putting it. It's a unique type of protectionism. But I also think it's partly learned. Like I said, I don't want to gender stereotype, if you know what I'm saying, because I don't believe it is strictly a male thing. All right, let's do a little checking here. Distances. 7.5, 8. Yeah, about 8. Okay, we're good with that. Of course, it can suck and seem unappreciated in the moment, Tony, but in the long term, you will appreciate that time, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just feel really manly. I moved a stove by myself out of one home into another. Oh, man, yeah. That's the male hubris that does that. But yeah, totally agree, Peter. Enjoy that. Right, it is fleeting. It is fucking fleeting. You know, I've said I would do just about anything to have a little more time with my dad. Just about anything. Pencil. There we go. All right. Anyway, with all that being said, enjoy the good times. That's one of the things I've been trying to do as well. It's like my mother and I did not end our relationship well. In fact, she passed before she and I could reconcile. And one of the things I'm trying to do is just trying to remember the good times. There were a lot of bad, and it still lingers, but I'm trying to remember the good times. Okay. There we go. I think we've now gotten 1, 2. Just want to make sure I got all of it. Got that. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This one here kind of, like I said, got botched a little bit, but I think it'll be, once the backpack is on, I'm not sure it's going to be visible. I really don't know. What the fuck just happened? Likewise, Gio. Yeah. Just got to remember the good times. All right. Let's take a quick peek. It's been a little while since I've actually joined these two parts together, but there we go. Backpack is now on. It's looking pretty solid. Definitely have to do some gap filling there. All right, there will be some scribing going on here because I want to get some lines cleaned up here. But I'm digging this so far. I'm liking that double chamfering there. That's good. Okay. All right, so let's set that aside and let's start looking at the nacelle. I measure my manliness and happy, stable, and secure my wife in Japan and my mother in Denmark that is the legacy my dad imprinted on me. When I have left mom and dad that I have a couple of years more, but nothing is promised so forever. So I try and spend the time left to be best we can. Yeah. Yep. The thing to do right there, Tony. Okay, take a look at the other side real quickly. I just want to do a comparison. Oh yeah, this is the one that cracked. Fuck. Oh my god, it's separating like crazy. Eek. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, it is cracking all the way across. Oh boy. That, and it's chipping, which is interesting. That needs to get repaired, like right the fuck now. And I think it's going to be CA and not thin cement. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, you are one of the good ones. Okay. Just press that together. Press and hold. Okay, Jordan, I know you meant for that to happen, right? Yeah, no, not one bit. Not one bit. I knew it split. I heard it crack a while ago. But it's like, ooh, where'd that come from? Hopefully the CA kind of takes care of it. There will be patching on the surface, but that's a conversation for later. All right. Doing a Tim thing. I'm actually using CA to expedite this rather than using thin cement. Okay. I think that's good. Let's leave it like that for a moment. Now let's do a comparison. All right, let's see what we got to do. All right, so on this side, I may just, man, there's a lot of roughness there. That might just get surfacer. Yeah. Well, at least I can now distinguish between which one goes to which area. All right. So we have to do a bunch of different things here. First things first, let's take a look to see how different length. Okay, I'm gonna start doing some repair work right now, but I need to do some carving in here too. Okay. Let's get calipers. Do a little measuring. I like this rounded one. The other side's too pointed. So the question is, do I grind or do I add? 20.75. I think I'm just going to grind. Love it. Before we grind, we're just going to literally just chop some of that area off. So what I have is at the bottom of this nacelle piece, which unfortunately you guys can't see. Yeah, you might be able to. Notice how it's actually coming down to a bit of a point. This one here, I like a little more. It's a little bit more rounded. It comes to a curve at the end. This one comes more to a point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate that point. Oops, wrong blade. Right blade. Yeah, that actually took care of a lot of that problem right there. Just sand it a little bit. Let's do it. Sorry, guys. May see the new cat. Oops. Mr. New Cat has now taken order of the hierarchy with cat. She has chasing ash and shat on the floor like mom has come home. Nice. Oh, yay. All right, so we got some more gap filling to do there as well, which is fine, There's plenty of gap filling to do. I got gap filling there. Boy, this side doesn't look so bad though. I got to grind some of this down so this shape is a little less rounded. It is shocking to see how much stuff you miss, even stuff that looks to be so freaking obvious, right? Until you get put primer down. Yeah, absolutely fucking amazing. That's the crack one, so we'll leave that one there. All right, let's get got a lot of stuff to do here. Let's start with got all my goodies right here, ready to go. The only thing I need is a water replenisher. Be right back, guys. Macy large and in charge. Exactly. Oh, yeah, Tony. Like she is totally grumpy girl. No front claws, so I'm a little upset about that. Declawing cat is inhumane. I agree. Absolutely. Okay. Let's get the old sanding tools ready to go. First thing we're going to do, we are definitely going to try to fix this area here and square this area off a little bit more. All right, so it looks like this might need just a little bit of patching right there. Okay, easy enough to do. It's a little rounded. Yeah, I gotta thin down this rounding just a little bit. Let's see. Had one that was declawed, and that was the way she came to us and from the rescue. All my other cats over the years have been the way they were born, complete. Yep. Round tabby with a 1,000-yard glare. Nice. Shoot. Can you remove a cat's front claws without it growing back? I figured they were like nails. No, you actually remove the entire claw. It never grows back. I got one ripped clean off in Dad's metal shop, and it still grew back. It may not have been the entirety of it. That's the whole thing. To declaw a cat means you're removing any ability for it to grow a claw. Yeah, which to Joe's point, I agree, is inhumane. You know, our furniture has been destroyed by our cats, but I still wouldn't do that. Okay. So far, so good. This here, I think, is going to get some surfacer as well. Yeah, because I don't want that rounded stuff. We are going to be doing some kind of scribing in here. Let me get a pen out just to mark down what needs to get done. Yeah, they removed the knuckle. Yeah. And the tip of the toe bone also when they do that, Peter. Yeah. Yeah, they removed the knuckle. Yep. Yeah, it's effing vile. 100%. I just buy the clear furniture guards that they scratch. So they scratched the plastic and not the actual furniture. Yeah, I think the next time we're going to do that. We did wrap some stuff on there, but they found a way around. I agree, Peter. Reason for a cat is to get new furniture every 5 years, which is good because a cushion holding in more than 6 years of farts is a pink eye factory. Joe, I love it. Okay, I'm just marking on here that has to get puttied up, and obviously all this stuff here does too. How does this feel? Pretty shit. Let's grind that down a little bit more. So a bit of a hard time going to sleep last night. Crashed out a little bit. Got up, and then I was fully awake. So I decided, all right, I'll wait up for my daughter a little bit. And I ended up watching one of the movies I talked about yesterday. Figured, okay, I haven't seen it in a few years. Let's watch it. I watched Colossus, the Forbin Project. And now I actually want to pick up the books. I mean, the movie's great. I love the movie. All right, so far, I gotta tell you, this is actually looking really good. You know. All right. Okay. I'll have to give that. Tony, take it easy, brother. Have a good day with your fam. I want to get started on for the day, and then I get back home. I can work on a kit. I will see you all later. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, Tony, take it easy, brother. Sound logic, absolutely. Reading that is now looking at the couches with a visual ick. Yep. A little bit. Hey, Nick. Good morning. What's going on, brother? Hi, Nick and later, Nick. Hi, Nick and later, Nick. Let's get some of this done. If I can do this without having to add material, I'll be happier. Because this area here, I'd rather not bulk it up if I can avoid it. So far, so good. This area, I think, is going to require some bulking up just to give it a little bit more roundness. Fine. Those lines are going to need to get cleared. Fine. Oops. There's a little schmutziness there. Fixed. How's the fillet looking? I think fine. Okay. Yeah, this area here is going to require some kind of gap filling. Got to figure out what to use, though. Got to figure that out. Oops. Let's get that rag. Packing for vacation. Nice. I was going to ask the same thing. Where are you off to? Heading to Florida. That's not a vacation. So that's Walt Disney. Yeah, what part of Florida and whereabouts? Look at this. All these inquiring minds. I love it. It's just a little bit more. Let's see. White sand and blue water, Joe. Destin, Florida. Whereabouts is Destin? Is that on the Gulf side? The Gulf of Mexico side, or is that on the Atlantic Ocean side? Florida, where sports careers, old people, and civil liberties go to die, according to a comedian I watched. I think you're right about that, though. All right, boy. Ooh, we got some filling to do there because that is nasty. All right, so let's just mark that. There we go. Yeah, Gulf side. Nice. Just getting up here. I'm doing going mostly to fish. I don't care what everyone else does. Well, I'm hoping you do. What's your wife going to do? What are the kiddos going to do? All right, that's good. I think we're going to leave. Let me do a little bit more. I'm thinking that's fine. We'll know a little bit more after we get primer on here. This definitely has to get gap filled up here. Okay. Good. All right. This one's actually, in many ways, not bad. Couple areas got to get squared away. Let's get this area here squared away a little bit. Okay. Good. Hopefully that took care of that little gap. If not, surfacer. Hope you have fun and relaxed vacation. Yeah. Her mom and sister will be there too, so they can all hang out together. Nice. Yeah, so that's right. You got family down that way too, which is convenient. How long you gone, Nick? A week? A few days? Couple of weeks? Forever? My wife and I, given that we've joked that for years, Florida tried killing my wife twice, especially the last time we went. And we are going down a third time in January. Our younger daughter Mia is in on the Quinnipiac dance team, and they go down to Florida for competitions. Last year, it was unknown whether she was going to go or not, and therefore we didn't go. She ended up going at the last minute. It was too late for us to kind of secure tickets, get time off, et cetera, et cetera. But in January, we will be heading down to see her. And I'm pretty excited not about being in Florida per se, though being in Florida in January probably has some benefits rather than being up here in New England. But at the same time, it'll be nice just to watch her compete. Very excited for her this year. Anyway, that's cool, Nick. So you guys, you're going to be dropping off your wife and kids, and you're going to be hanging out the beach. How close are you to the water that you're going to be able to do this? Yeah, there's definitely some shit there. That's going to have to get patched a little bit. I can feel that coming down. This looks a little less. Yeah, it's definitely a little less rounded. I'm going to sort of just drive it a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Big time patching there. Gonna probably do some surfacer here. That's good. I'm pretty happy with how that came out, I think. At least from right now, the way I can tell, I think that this rounding down here did a nice job. Anything else is just going to require a surfacer. And we got some patching to do there. Okay. Leave that one be. Let's take a look at this one now. Whoops. I think I forgot to check. Oh, yeah. Got to do something here. Like 10 minutes from the beach and even less from the bay and inlet. Wow, that's nice. So you're just going to sit there, excuse me, just going to sit there and plant a pole, or are you going to go out in the, go out into the bay, get on a boat or something like that? Okay, let's see if that helps at all. We got that. Ooh, that's going to be some gap filling there. Okay. Actually, didn't I circle that area? I thought I did. There we go. My for summer fun team energy is coming together pretty good. Nice. Joe, are you going to use that to game with some people locally or what have you? Your gaming group? I've got a boat rented for a day. I may bring my kayak also since we are driving down. Oh, nice. How long's the drive? Houston to that part of Florida? That's a fucking haul. Curious as to how long that drive is. The last time we went to Florida, we drove as well. Took us, it's basically a day trip. It's 24, 26 hours to get to Miami. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of fillering in there. Just do that with surfacer. Got that, got that. Definitely got all of this right here. Gonna build some of this up a little bit and then shape it afterward. I also have what appears to be, and that's going to have to get fixed later. There's the line on the nacelle itself, right about where the hole I drilled in is just like a little bit of a divot there. But I'm going to have to fix that once it's all kind of done. All right, so let's set that one aside. Let's work on this one. It's probably like 12, 13 out. Yeah, with the kids. Yeah. Yeah. You're making an app? Yeah. So supposed to give everyone access to play it for free. Nice. Joe's a man of many talents. In fact, I'm actually going to replicate a lot of this here. What the fuck is that? Is that another crack? No. Yes. No. Fuck you. Don't tell me that's another crack. Oh, it is another crack. God damn. Well, what do you know? Let's get that squared away, shall we? That one, I think, just appeared too. Wow. Yippee-ki-yay. I just flooded that zone. Put a little bit on the surface here too. What the fuck is that? Push that together. You know. Oops. Hello. Thank you. Well, 2-1 is a character maker, and the other is a virtual tabletop of Night City for the game, like D&D Beyond, because it does not does but free. Nice. All right, that gap is squared away now. Wow, second crack. That's interesting. Curious to see what kind of stresses are actually on this model then. That shit like that's happening on this part itself. Okay. This should be drying a little bit. Then I'm going to start sanding that area, start sanding this area. Obviously going to be some gap filling there. This side, for the most part, except for some areas like right there. I mean, this is not going to require nearly as much cleanup work. But I can already tell you it's going to be fun getting some scribing and some riveting done on this thing. Let's see. Impressive. Indeed it is. All right. This we're going to grind. Actually, let's get... Let's see if this works. So if this is... I might need something a little bit more... A little bit more. It's the second to the last day of the tour, but it's the last serious day of the tour, meaning that tomorrow is the at least for the GC contenders. I know Peter's going to be watching the tour later on today, but it is the last day. They're going up they're in the Alps, going up the Alpe d'Huez for the second time. Yesterday was the first. Tadej Pogacar just destroyed the field. God. We are literally looking at a generationally somebody who is clearly above and beyond everybody else. And I know Peter's going to make comments about doping, and I'm not. I continue to pray that is not the case. I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff is nutrition based and that kind of thing, but you know what? Time will tell. But either case, the tour is very exciting, and what's been going on has been fabulous. I have not the patience for coding. Yeah, I got to tell you, there is a mindset that goes with it, right, Peter? Yeah, I'm kind of in your camp. That's kind of I've done stuff like that, and there's times when it's fun, but there's also times when it's not. One of the reasons why years ago, when my sister and I created our first website, and when I inherited our Patriot website, a lot of that stuff was done on proprietary coding or WordPress or stuff like that. And it's like, there has to be something that's a lot easier, particularly when you're dealing with a crowd that doesn't want to put that kind of effort in. You know, I don't want to spend time coding. This incessant gloating doesn't work. Please enjoy your sport. I do enjoy the sport. Goading, not gloating. Darn, I like gloating too. I was actually thinking about, I mean, I've been watching the sport for 33 years. And I will be more virulent about my condemnation for some people in it. And I'm debating actually writing to Peacock which is Peacock, NBC, are the ones broadcasting it here, and asking them, why in the fuck are you giving airtime to a guy who basically destroyed the tour for the first 6 years of the early 2000s, and create and literally we have this gap of no winners, because a guy so aggressively doped and destroyed lives, and you're giving him airtime and his lieutenant airtime to do a sort of like their take on the tour stage. And it's like, you know what? These guys should never be anywhere near a broadcast booth or anywhere near this sport, given what they did to the sport. So, Peter, I'm not in disagreement with you regarding some of it. And given how much I strongly backed, those two guys for the longest time, and ultimately I feel like, yep, they betrayed us. They absolutely betrayed us. But I'm not going to rip into the entire sport, because if we do that, then we just as well say all sports are like that. I don't think that's fair to cycling or any sport. There will always be people who cheat. There will always be people who cheat. And that's very unfortunate. All right, let's do a little bit of cleanup here. There's some scratch marks. Which I think that's kind of, again, trying to do some of this stuff without using surfacer is not a bad idea. There we go. Just getting rid of some of those scratches. All right, that's where, maybe. No, I thought it was. I thought that's where puttying started, but it is not. Puttying starts right about there. Let's get some of that done. There we go. All right, we got some gap filling to do there. We got some cleanup to do right on the intake. What the fuck happened there? Bing, bing. Lordex coming back. 2 more seasons. Would you like me to burn to DVD for you? Nah. Trust me, Joe. I can get my hands on that show very easily without having to subscribe to Paramount. I'm not too concerned about that. Please know I've said nothing at all. I appreciate that. And Peter, by the way, you can if you want. I respect your look. Remember, we've talked about this. I respect your opinions. I respect everybody's opinions. Hey, Richie, what's going on, brother? Happy Saturday to you. I'm not, it's funny. I don't expect everybody's going to like the same things. We can disagree with the certain things. I mean, God knows. I mean, everybody knows my opinion of, wait, DVD? What's that? I still get DVDs from the library, Blu-ray discs and everything like that. It's a lot easier to do that sometimes than it is to purchase it from what they call it, as a stream or a download or whatever. God knows how much I despise American football and golf. Blah. 2 of the most useless sports on the planet. But that's my opinion. It's my opinion. Okay. It's funny. I was looking at this thing a couple days ago, and it looked to me at the time that the damage, the repair work was much, much more extensive. And now I'm looking at this, and I'm not sure that it is. I mean, yeah, there is, but I thought there was like a lot more. Don't get me wrong, the putting up top here is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I mean, dude, I've dealt with worse. I've dealt with much, much worse. do gap filling on that. Wow, that's crazy. That second crack. I will tell you, I know I've been saying this for a while. I'm really tickled pink with a lot of this stuff. This is really coming out nice. It's not perfect, and I'm not going to go for perfect this round because I don't think I can. I don't think I have the time to make this thing as perfect as I'd like it to be. I collect all Gundam Blu-rays. Nice. I bought more than a few. I actually just bought a disc set. I bought the it's only available in another region, but I bought the UFO, Jerry Anderson's UFO Blu-ray set, because that is a must-own in my opinion. Yeah, there are certainly series, right, Richie, that we're gonna buy, and I'm not sure I'd want to buy all of them. Like I don't think I'd. We'll get to when we get to Wing. When I get to actually watch all of Wing someday, I'll let you know. I can't imagine owning Wing. Is it bad, Richie? I collect laser discs? No. I think it's funny that you do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm right here, George. I'm a big football fan. I'm sorry to hear that, Richie. I really am sorry to hear that. I like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can actually envision you doing that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Kind of New York style. Roses are red. They are often sold. This has nothing to do with the tour, but George is really, really old. There we go. I do like the fact that when Peter and I get into differentiating ourselves in our whatever way we do, it always comes back to, and George, by the way, you're old. I love it. I used to go to Best Buy to burn DVDs for the entire neighborhood for $10 a pop. Hold it a second. Best Buy used to burn DVDs? I never knew that. Wow, that's kind of cool. How the fuck did you do that? All right, that's getting a little cleaner. I mean, at the end, it's going to get all schmutzied up anyway. Yeah. Get most of it cleaned up, though. I have to do some a little bit of gap filling in those corners there. A little bit here, too. I will say this may have been the most enjoyable time I've had scribing, because it wasn't just scribing for coming up with cool looking lines, but I think it was practical lines with the riveting came out great. Always hustling something. Love it. I used to buy them to burn. Sorry, coffee hasn't kicked in. Okay, yeah. Dude, yeah. So I'm sure that, I'm going to make a public announcement here, and of course it creates some legal issues. Back in the day, back in like the late 80s, early 90s, Joe was mentioning laserdiscs. Laserdiscs, you could make a VCR copy without much of an issue because there was no copy protection that was easily carrying over when you were doing that. So I would buy laserdiscs, Japanese laserdiscs, nothing US. I mean, you had to import these fucking discs at an incredible price. Back in the day, I mean, how much did I pay? This is like 35 years ago, more. I paid over $500 for the Macross Laserdisc set, and there was no English, so it was all in Japanese, no subtitling, any of that stuff. And we would make copies of it. I bought Char's Counterattack that way, made copies of it, and we sold them to people. I had that going as a little business. And what I did was I took the money and bought more stuff and made more copies and sold that stuff. But it was good because then, back in the day, that is one of the ways that we used to distribute how you got anime out there. to people because you didn't have the internet and you didn't have streaming services. Most of this shit was underground, unless you were at like a comic convention. And that's what we did. We actually bought a table and sold a bunch of these tapes at the table. And that's how you introduced a lot of people to this stuff. It would get old quick, pun intended, and be more offensive if I were clueless 18-year-old constantly calling you old. I see it more as neighbors in the retirement constantly squabbling. Yeah. Does the Grumpy Old Men movie come to mind, Peter? Yeah, there we go. Think of the Grumpy Old Men movies or Statler and Waldorf. Yep. Nice. All right. How are we looking here? We are looking good. Let's I think at this point, everything that's needed now needs to be done via additional material, not putty. Let me just go through. A bit of a crack there. Let's get that cleaned up. That may be surfacer. I'll apply some surfacer there. Right along that edge, got to do something. Oops, what do we got there? A little flip of something. Thank you. All gone. And the shape of this, I think, looks good. A little bit of some kind of, looks like a little bit of sinking there. We'll fill that in. All right, let's get the marker out. Let's start marking shit. I also sold cartons of cigarettes, DVDs, ringtones for Nextel and Nextel's phones themselves, so Goodfellas ain't got shit on me. Richie, careful what you say publicly. A little bit there. I don't think I need anything there. We got some schmutzy stuff there. We definitely have some gap filling to do here. That's the area that cracked. Got all of this area right up top here to do. Yeah, that might need some sanding. We'll do some of that there. Ugh. I just punched a hole into this thing. How the fuck did that happen? Huh. I'm assuming that plastic is paper thin. Ooh. Woo. I guess I'm constructing more of a biplane. Let's see if I can smooth that out without using additional material. See how that goes. Feels smooth. Hey, Kevin. Good morning. How are you? That's okay. It fell off a truck. Right. I can say I did it, but will be impossible to prove. Right. I don't know what you're talking about. I could be talking about anything. I could smoke a joint here. And guess what? You don't know if it's a joint or if it's tobacco or if it's nothing. I could say it is. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. You're not the boss of me. All right, let's see if we can do a little bit of joint cleanup right here. And we got all of this right here that has to get patched. Yeah, and I also notched the fuck out of this thing. So this is going to require some cleanup there. But that's when the nacelle comes into the backpack. It's going to require. I know I've been thinking about not just getting them to come in flush, but in angling them out a little bit. So that's going to require some thought, but that's going to come out after wiring. That's going to suck. Unless you have a time machine. Yeah. Ain't invented yet. Yay. All right. Let's get what time is it? 7:30. Yeah, I'm not going to have much more time to do, but I'm going to lay down some surfacer right now. And then everything else, I will likely have to putty either later tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, I got to get ready to shortly to get my daughter. We're moving her today to her new apartment. Very excited for her. We're moving in. She's not moving in herself, but we're starting to move her stuff in. So that's awesome. Very excited about that. Running that edge. I think it's this is something that she's wanted to do for the longest time, and ultimately, I think it's a great thing. I think, you discover your independence, and you also discover that you can't always, hide under mommy and daddy's, skirts and pants and all that other stuff. You have to kind of go out there and do your own thing sometime. So when you make mistakes, you own the mistake. You got to fix it. But that sense of independence that I think it's a necessity. I had one of my nephew friends ask me, "What did you guys do for fun back in the day?" We hustled, made money, and kept our mouths shut. I love it, Richie. I love it. I absolutely do love it. All right, let's get some repair work done here. It's a little chip. There's a little chip there. I'm not going to clean that. That could actually be fine because a little chip could actually look like it was damaged. And I could actually do that. I could actually create some of that damage. Okay. Leave that like that. Man, definitely hurting today. All right. And then once we lay down the surfacer, I am going to work a little bit on, for the last half hour, whatever time is remaining, we'll work a little bit on the backpack. Let's do some lines on that, getting some scribing stuff done. Amending into it in writing in an easily subpoenable chat log might make it a bit easier to prove. Maybe. You still have to prove it. Where is the evidence? There we go. Got that. Got that. Let's gap fill this area. This is the crack. Let's see what happens when we start gap filling this thing. And we're going to do it with surfacer. And we may have to do this also with scribing. So there's probably going to be more surfacer getting laid down here at some point. I'm not sure I'm going to keep all the lines that are on here, but there may be some that do stay. Okay, get that done. All right, flip. This is going to be the fun one. This one might require more than just surfacer, but we're going to, no, this is going to require puttying. That will be surfacer. This is going to require actually stuffing putty in there because there's just not enough material in there. So again, just obviously sanded too far, and it created an issue with penetration. Just broke right in. Let's see if this will work. This may sink, but we'll give it a try. I mean, surfacer is great, except for the one issue of obviously it collapses into the gap, which is fine. Just means that gap you may not get a perfectly seated situation there. All right, we're applying, instead of doing putty here, I'm doing just surfacer to see if this will smooth out this area at all. It may or may not, but we'll see. Yeah, there's a place I can tell right now it's gonna be a little too thick. I'm gonna glop it on here and see what happens. I'm trying to think if this stuff is more like paint or if this stuff is more like putty. Like, is this like a super thinned putty? Or is it more like a really thick paint? Maybe the two are the same. Okay. Oops, did I put my finger in there? I think I might have. Scheisse. Put my finger in places I don't want it to put. How we looking? How we looking? Looking all right. All right. We're going to leave that like so. And let's see what happens when it dries. Let's get this one done. Here's this problem with surfaces. Again, he rubbed one out. Nice. What Mr. Surfacer thickness? Oh, this is 500. And this stuff is actually even thicker than most. Yeah. This is yeah, it's the big gloppy shit. This stuff is like, it's literally like liquid putty. I've had this jar forever, and I just keep adding thinner to it when it gets too thick, and it's great. Love this stuff. This stuff, I've heard from some people, it's like, oh, I don't do that. It's kind of like cheating using surfacer. I'm like, you know what? What's cheating? I'm trying to get a finish on here. I don't give a shit how that finish comes out. If I've got a tool and it works, I'm using that tool. It's kind of like when people used to bitch about dry brushing for years. Oh, I know what I forgot on this side. I'm going to see if I can get in here real quickly. This may require something a little more than just surfacer, but we'll see what we can do. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, this stuff is like the best, man. It's like the best. I'm going to get rid of this line, though. This rounded line here. I like it, but I don't want to replicate it on the other side, which has completely disappeared, and it's just not that important. I'm going to do more straight lines and riveting on this. Okay. That is a nasty seam right down the middle. Let's get that, eliminate that. Eliminate those. Looking good, looking good. Okay, let's go around the horn. I'm going to lay this stuff down. I'm pretty sure this is going to require more than just surfacer. I think it's going to require putty, but I'm going to see if I can smooth out some of these areas here and see if it helps. If it doesn't, fine. Don't care. But we'll lay this stuff down first. Got that. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get as much of this done before. There we go. All right, going around the horn. We got a little blip right there. Let's fill that little dot. I can run a bead inside here. Okay, how we looking? Pretty fucking good. I do say so myself. It's looking, making sure I didn't miss anything. All the obvious stuff I think has now been tackled. Okay, leave that one there. Whew. You also build up layers of surfacer. It is minute amounts that is lacking. Yeah, absolutely. And I can definitely do that. That's kind of typically what I'll do, Peter. Like if I don't need a lot of, because like the area that I'm working on right now, which is where I built up a lot of epoxy um, to repair and to round an area around the engine nacelle. So there's an original plastic part here. There's the original plastic, which kind of stopped here, but this entire area up here had to be rebuilt with epoxy because that's where the wings themselves came in. So, excuse me. So that work is a little rough where the plastic and the epoxy came together. So I just laid down the stuff, and to your point, apply it, sand it, see how it looks. Looks like shit. Apply some more, sand it. My concern with using the Tamiya basic putty or an epoxy is it's going to layer on way too much, and then the removal could potentially start allowing me to carve into too much plastic, and I want to avoid that. You are excused. I appreciate that. You are the pinnacle of kindness. The pinnacle. Oh, actually, before we do that, is there anything else I need to do on this? Before we do that, since we're open here. You know what? No, I'm going to hold off on doing this before we get to it. Let's get this thing cleaned off. Okay. All right, let's pound some coffee. Put that away. Okay, leave that right there for a second. Let's get that stuff right there. My little pile. Okay, put that away. Just starting to put some of the tools away, and likely I'm going to break these out again, but let's see what we got. Measuring. Tweezers. Okay. All right, so now I got to tell you, I keep looking at this thing, and I'm now looking at this, and it reminds me so much of Tony's, and that he just worked on a GOG as well, and he called it the murder egg. I keep wanting to call this not a GOG, but a murder egg. But it's not murdering. It's like a rescue egg. All right, here we go. We got some surfaces here that definitely need some shit done to them. First, I want to put this on, and I want to do a little measuring, kind of tracing out. What is visible, and what is not. I need to find, I used to have a 0.3, this is a 0.7, yeah, fuck. I used to have a 0.3 pencil, which has disappeared. I need to find that. There we go. All right, now at least we know we have a surface that we can work within. Okay. All right, so I do think I need to do some kind of scribing up top here. And I'm probably going to do some riveting around that hatch. In fact, I might do that sooner rather than later. All right. And this may only end up being phase one. of the scribing and riveting. And the reason is I'm not going to know exactly how some of this is going to come together until the wings are put on, the nacelles are put on. Okay. There we go. We're definitely doing riveting around that. May end up doing riveting around this too. That'll be fun. Ooh, that's going to be less than fun. Okay, well, figure that out. And the murder egg then have the savior egg. Savior. Not rescue, but savior. Ooh, I like that term. Thank you, Peter. That's a good one. Yeah, man. I dig that one. May drop something in there. I really don't want to do riveting around that circular piece, any of that stuff. Okay, let's take a look and see what we're going to do for scribing here. This here is the way I envision this backpack is obviously it's a lot more angular, right, than the GOG itself. So this backpack here may not have the same level of stuff done to it. It may be more forged, cast. Can't be cast because I have to do cast marks. I'm not doing cast marks. Hmm. Scheiße. That's good. Oh my God. Hey, Mike, good morning. What's going on, brother? How are you? How's your weekend? right. Just doing a little bit of cleanup work here. Where I fused a piece of plastic on. Okay. It's looking better. Sorry, I missed that. How is it? Sitting a noisier wash. Guess Savior Shell got missed or was not his liking. Savior Shell. Did I miss it? Hold a second. Or say I missed that one. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, or Savior Shell if you like that better. I don't know. I kind of like Savior Egg. Sounds good. Just because Murder Egg, I like that. So the interplay between those two. Let's see. Sorry, I missed that. How is what? How are you? How is Kim? How are things? And by the way, thank you for purchasing 4 tables at PatCon. You're at the car wash. Mike's at the car wash. I'd sing the song, but 1, I suck at singing, and 2, I'll get dinged. So I'm not going to do that. All right, let's do some scribing. I mean, some riveting. I gotta tell you, I love this tool. Man. I know I haven't said it enough, but man, I really love these tools. Fucking A, man. I would like to actually hit that hole there. Let's see if I can do that. It's gonna be a little hard. I have to go this way. There we go. Rivet's done. Oops, nope. Yeah, there we go. Looking good. Woo, pop that off. Mike's at the car wash. 4, I do wonder why she asked my opinion. 3 became 4. Okay. Exactly, Peter. Mike, but that's good. And you're also getting your name on the, and I'm not sure if you've seen the website, but Mike, you might notice that Turn 4 has their logo on the Kids Make and Take. We are okay. It's been a week. Kim's dad has been in the hospital since first diagnosed with E. coli infection along with other issues now, including kidney concerns. Oh, fuck. Hey, Mike, how, first of all, please pass on my best wishes to Kim on her dad's speedy recovery. And secondly, how old is her dad? I mean, I know you guys are still pretty young, but all right, let's do some scribing. I said I was going to do scribing. I'm actually going to fulfill everything I wrote I was going to do today. Just turned 84 last Friday. Wow. Well, happy belated birthday to him. Damn. Yeah. Did he spend it in the hospital, though? I hope not. I don't need. Oh. Today's going to be a doozy. All right, first things first, let's get the 0.1. We're going to go in here and just, actually, no, 0.15. And we're going to carve straight across here. Not that that's going to be seen at all, but I definitely want that done. At least we have a break line. No, we were pretty sure his birthday dinner may have put him there. Oh, one feels one must ask, what did you feed him? Damn. I don't know why, Mike, but for some crazy reason, the old movie and play Arsenic and Old Lace just came to mind. Let's do this one too. Okay. Get that. Do this one. So, almost forgot. So I guess I'm still trying to get the details finalized. Hold a second. Not us. He went to Texas Roadhouse for his birthday dinner. Could be coincidence. Doctors did say the cola has been brewing for some time. Oh boy. I'm hoping it passes quickly. Oh man. Yeah, 84. Yeah, you just don't fuck around with stuff like that. Yeah, all the best, Mike. All the best to him. So I'm waiting to hear back a little bit more information from Mason, but I guess tonight, Mason, Bacony Goodness, and myself are going to be on the Built Sideways podcast. We're going to be talking about progression and obviously pitching PatCon. Fuck, I'm going to pitch PatCon. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I don't know if I've done a live podcast. I've done live stuff before, other people's Instagrams, that kind of thing, but I don't believe I've ever done I can't remember now if I've done a podcast or not. Don't know that I have. So that's kind of exciting, a little bit exciting stuff. Let's get the glasses on. All right. We got 2 more lines to scribe, and then we're also going to be doing riveting, which I think is 3 lines of rivets. So once that's done, we're going to call this a session for the day. Damn it. I don't have a lot of meat to grab onto here. You know what? we're gonna have to go with the smaller stuff. And you know, it's funny. I remember years ago thinking, why do they make a variety of different sizes of scribing tape? Let's see. Kim's going to the hospital today to get better answers. Her mom nor her dad can hear the doctors very well. Yeah, boy. You might keep me posted on that, brother. Again, all the best to the Kim's parents, her dad. You do live shows? I kind of fake it. They will be live. That's cool. Any idea what time? I don't know that it's live. I think it's recorded, and then it'll probably come out in the next couple days. So I don't believe it's going to be a live show, but I'll let you guys know. You know, like I said, I'm still waiting to hear back if it's a. Mason reached out and he said, "Yeah, do you want to be on?" I'm like, "Sure." Just trying to get the details finalized right now. Okay, come on. Thank you. There we go. Press that down. Press it down. And now let's scribe. Yep, perfect. Yeah, mostly perfect. That's why I'm bringing it up just a smidge. I said just a smidge. Okay, there's that line. Let's do this one. Oh my gosh. There we go. Press and scribe. And since I'll get notified when it drops, I follow them. Yeah. Also, I'm reaching out. Hey, Mike, and do you talk to the guys over at Classic Plastic much? Because we're also doing the club tables, and I really would love for them to have a club table at PatCon. Let me know. If not, I've got both Paul and Art's email addresses, so I can just email them. I would ask Tim, but I don't know that Tim is actively involved with their club anymore. Meaning, in a way of leadership. If he is, that'd be great. The same with Blue Ox. Like I said, love to have them have a table. All right, those lines are now done. Now, let's get some rivets done. Yeah, I think today's definitely going to be a medicine kind of a day. Oh, yeah. Oh, mercy. All right. Last bit of lines. There we go. Love it. Okay. So we now have riveting at the, oops, lost it. Riveting around this hatch. And I've also done riveting and scribing around, kind of separating this bottom section from the main body. I'm not sure if it's going to be seen. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Probably not, because, you know, there's fucking camera. But anyway, let me do that. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You can actually see the riveting right along that perimeter. All I'm doing is just, like, again, just creating that separation between those two sections. Like, there were panels that came together and were riveted together. Tim stepped away from his position with Classic Plastic. Jason is just a member. I can mention it to Jason. You and Paul will get them. Yeah, that'd be great. And the table is going to be like, it's $40, and then you guys can put your literature. This is the thing about the club tables, which I'm trying to do. We need to kind of continue to broaden what we do and not let it be a competition and vendor show. It has to be more than that, right? So with that, doing things like having club tables where clubs can go put your banner out. So I don't care. You want to sign up members there? Have at it. I don't care. I'm trying to grow this hobby and trying to attract more interest in what we do at PatCon. Modeling chapters, what do they actually provide? A common space for what is in essence a solitary hobby. I'm curious because I've never been part of one. Yeah, I think any IPMS aside, think about it this way, Peter, whether you go to a shop that has like a build day, like Turn 4 used to do, and God knows how much we miss those days. I miss those days so much. Or you're part of an IPMS chapter or Classic Plastic, which is more of a car model driven group. The groups themselves have, they do what they do. For example, like us, we'll meet twice a month. Last night was our Zoom meeting, which I was not on, but we meet once a month in person too. So we have 2 meetings a month. The Brooklyn guys, the guys out in Western Mass, they meet much more regularly. We run a competition, an expo. I'm trying to move it away from a competition annually into a broad celebration of model building. So with all that being done, it's kind of what they do. So to your point, yeah, it's a very solitary hobby, but I think most people, I shouldn't say most, I can't say that. Many people don't want it to be. Like I was saying about Turn 4, the shop that Mike owns, it was great to be able to bring a model, snap something together, and you're sitting there doing work and just talking to somebody else, kind of like what we do here, except face to face. It's great. I'd encourage anybody to join something like that. If you have any, I'm not pitching IPMS, I'm not pitching our chapter, I'm not pitching any specific organization. Go anywhere and just kind of build with other people. You'll find that it becomes a more entertaining hobby that way. Having said that, there is also something to be said about obviously just sitting at the bench by oneself. And That's the obvious one, right? I like being down here. If I can do this without any interaction, any distraction, it's great. But I can only do that for so long, right? So, all right. Anyway, my friends, we are really, this thing is moving along. And I'm very happy with the direction that this thing is taking so far. I know I say that on a regular basis, and there's going to be a lot of fuck ups and a lot of stuff that needs to get done. But overall, this thing is really coming along. Let's see. Seems like they would be worth their weight in gold for new builders if senior members are willing to share technique and experiences. And the funny part about that, Peter, is they do. Older members generally, if you're part of a club like our club, and I've mentioned this before, and it bears mentioning again. The one thing that I love about Patriot Chapter was, as Gundam builders, we were never, it never felt like we were invited, or we were sort of like the bastard child of scale modeling. Until I went to PatCon back in 2019, I think it was. And the old guys, the guys who build traditional models, they don't build Gundam. They don't do, miniature figures. That's what they did. And they're like, guys, we really like what you guys brought to the tables. They're fabulous. Would you guys be interested in coming to to what we do? I'm sure that we could learn from each other, and it would be great. That was the spark. And attending our meetings, Mason has brought this up multiple times on podcasts and other places. People generally want to hear what you're doing, even if it may not be their thing. Like, I'm not purely a plane guy, though. Yes, I build too many planes now, but I appreciate hearing what techniques people use on planes, etc. And I will tell you, when one of my friends, Tom, brought his Gundams for the first time, the comments on how did you do that finish from the traditional guys was like, they were all over him. And Mason has brought that up too, that he was questioned about, like, hey, tell me a little bit about how did you do this? So whether it's the old guard or the kids or the new kids on the block, the point is we can all learn from each other. And we're willing to share our ideas. Absolutely. I mean, the stuff that I picked up through our chapter from the old guys, and they're like, yeah, I'll tell you what to do. There's no, you're not worthy of it. None of that. None of that. And in fact, most of the chapters that I've talked to, they're absolutely accommodating to anybody. Anybody who comes up to you and says, and I've heard it, anybody who says, yeah, I'm not going to tell you my technique, get the fuck out of my face. Thankfully, I've never experienced that anywhere in any competition, show, group that I've attended. Never experienced that. I have heard that it's happened, but to me, that is ultra, ultra, ultra rare. And those people typically get shunned. So anyway, I haven't been into adult daycare, but I can't wait to be with other kids my age or younger or older. Anyway. And so, yeah, Peter, I would encourage if there is a model club, whatever they do around you, give them a shot. And frankly, I'm also of the opinion that if they're a little obstinate to having, this, whatever the new flavor is, and how it competes against their traditionalness, I would say go in there anyway and just say, what I do is as legitimate as what you do. And I would say that to anybody right now. If anybody, and I've had conversations with people, it's like, but these things aren't real. How is it that they're, I don't understand how you can have scale of something that isn't real. And it's funny when you have people who are not Gundam builders and traditional builders then come out and say, because I was about to say something at one point when that comment came to me, and it wasn't a NAS scale. And I had people, two traditional modelers, say, yeah, because it's scaled to what a human is, what reality is. So yeah, even if it's 1/144, that's in relation to a human or to a car or to whatever. It's scale. Because I don't understand. It's scale. So the traditional guys We're turning to this guy and just saying, it's scale. It has pilots, so that's the scale. Exactly. So, and ultimately, look, we all have our own personal views. There's a wide range of views on this hobby. Traditional, Gundam, scale, not scale, weathering, clean, artistic, hobby, realism, that kind of thing. It all fits into the same box, guys. That's why. Go find a club, go participate. Guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Anyway, this thing's coming along real well, and I'm really happy with that. And I just got to find more time to get down here and get some more stuff done. But things are progressing, and that's what makes it good. Later, Nick. Have a good one, brother. Hey, enjoy your vacation. I'm sure we're not going to see you, but if you do pop in on your vacation, that'd be great. But if not, enjoy your time away. Later, Earthpunks. Later, Joe. Later, Peter. But guys, do good. Go out and show kindness, love, and respect. Don't go out there and vilify, treat people like crap. Even when we don't agree on something, let's at least be respectful to each other. Anyway, guys, enjoy the day, do good, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace.